In 1988, the father and son team of Dan and R.J. Gottlieb set out to build the baddest Camaro the world had ever seen.
This is the old American muscle.
What they didn't know at the time was just how well they'd succeeded.
This is something amazing.
Hey, somebody got a badder one? Prove it.
Over the next 25 years, they took on the world's best in some of the most demanding, dangerous racing events ever created, setting records and smashing the competition, creating the legend that lives on to this day.
Like a thoroughbred racehorse, it just kind of comes alive and shows us what it's made of.
Now, meet the car that made it all happen. In South Texas, about halfway between San Antonio and Houston, lies the town of Goliad and an old naval airstrip called the Goliad County Industrial Air Park. In March 2011, the runways were turned over to machines that do their flying without ever leaving the ground. This is the Texas Mile, an unlimited assault on the measured mile that attracts participants from all over the United States and as far away as Canada, Mexico, Europe, and Japan.
Can you give me some specs regarding this car, like the engine, suspension, any detailed work on it?
Well, you know, the car looks like a stock 69 Camaro, but done quite a bit of work to it. It's a full coil-over chassis, tube chassis car. We have a 598 V8 engine, 598 cubic inches. It's an aluminum Brodak block and aluminum Brodak heads, dual carburetors, and it's probably putting out close to 1,200 horsepower.
Some of the fastest cars and motorcycles in the world compete to register the highest top speed, and in some cases to set world records. The event features cars from all over the world, entered by competitors ranging from Shade Tree mechanics to state-of-the-art tuning teams.
When considering how fast we're going at Texas Mile, there's a couple of things to consider. One is that we're actually going to be running in the normally aspirated division, and I'm confident that we will win that division. The question is, will we be faster than the unlimited cars? Cars that have superchargers, cars that will be twin turbo, heavy induction systems. And Big Red being naturally aspirated is obviously a disadvantage. My goal is to keep it naturally aspirated, looking like a 69 Camaro, and competitive in those divisions. And I think we have a car and a combination that can do it.
But then it's not like that.
Yep, that'll be good.
I can handle that.
You want to bleed the brakes and clutch before I go?
All right.
You want to be in the car or you want to be out of the car?
What do you want to do?
I'll flip you for it.
Okay.
When Big Red was brought out of retirement in 2003, driver R.J. Gottlieb challenged his team to build a stronger, faster, safer car for open course road racing events, but also to build power plants that could make the car competitive in a new type of event gaining in popularity, the Flying Mile.
We decided we needed a much more sophisticated car and something that was much more along the lines of a race car. At the same time, we wanted to be able to still come out with the 69 Camaro that we had shown up with before.
Team Big Red chose a 598 cubic inch Brodix motor to replace the legacy Donovan 540 that Big Red had run since 1988.
We had the 540 motor, but it's probably at least 200 horsepower shy of what the 598 that we've been running in the car has.
This new motor, dubbed the Bullet, would supply Big Red with the power to compete in the 21st century.
It's absolutely the biggest engine we can fit in the car, and it's with it being normally aspirated and able to run on gas, it's the best we can do.
In 2009, the Big Red Camaro made a hastily arranged appearance at the Goliad event, and with a limited number of runs, managed a first-time flying mile best of 204 miles per hour. A respectable showing, but a result that left Gottlieb and crew wanting more. Enter the Monster. A 1,200 horsepower brute developed by legendary engine builder and longtime Big Red team member Larry Malicone, exclusively for mile events.
Hey, Larry. Oh, hey, Larry. How you doing? Good to see you, man. How you been?
Fine, long time no see.
Absolutely.
How we
Well,
doing?
so how's the engine coming?
Coming pretty good. We're almost there.
Is that it?
That's the baby.
Wow. Let's see it. Wow. Larry, is this thing gonna fit under the hood?
Well, that's what David's finding out
My.
right now. He took the other engine yesterday, and they're gonna try to fit it under the hood.
Larry, this is incredible. I can't believe this thing. You didn't tell me it was gonna be like this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Master craftsman Malicone spent hundreds of hours developing, refining, and assembling this incredible naturally aspirated Goliath that ultimately would put out an incredible 2 horsepower per square inch of displacement, numbers normally associated with NHRA drag racers.
I believe it'll be one of the most horsepower engine that I probably ever built so far besides alcohol cars.
And this one would be required to hold up under much more punishing conditions.
Even in these open road races, oftentimes the engine will be in 4th gear over 7,000 RPM for 10, 15 minutes at a time. And overall, these races will last about a half hour. So it's hard to find a guy that can consistently build engines that'll consistently last through that type of abuse.
I could have gone to another engine builder, top engine builder, and get a production motor and put the thing in, and it'd probably be okay. But Larry puts that little extra effort into all his motors and gives it basically a personalized touch on everything you get from him.
The Monster was an imposing, beautiful work of automotive art. But its sheer size presented a problem.
I see a problem.
A motor so large would require a modified hood, a necessity Gottlieb initially found unacceptably out of character for Big Red's stock profile.
I definitely don't want a pro stock type snorkel on the hood. He said, that's just too big. He said, that's not the look I'm going for.
What was that?
The magazine.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, but they have like the 12-inch riser.
Well, that's what you wanted, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I wanted, right? Yes.
I said, okay. So I gave him some catalogs on scoops that different companies build out throughout the country. And he picked one that he thought would look good on one of the lower profile, the 2-inch cowl hood that we originally had on the car, and attached it to it. And I said, okay. I said, is that all you're going to give us? He goes, yeah. I said, that's, I think, the most that we can get away with without taking too much away from the car.
But before the Monster motor could see combat duty, it had to spend diagnostic time on the dynamometer to ensure that any unforeseen issues were addressed before the Texas Mile and possibly avoid any catastrophic failures on the track.
Larry.
Morning. How you doing, babe?
Good. Everything look okay?
Yeah, so far so good.
Hey guys.
Morning.
Morning, RJ. How we doing, babe?
Hey, it looks great. I'm doing great. Can't wait to see this thing run. standardizing the horsepower for?
Yeah, most shop our dyno's really stingy.
So it tends to do more power.
Oh yeah, you put it if it makes what it's making now, anyone else's dyno is probably 40, 50, 60, 70 higher the way they do it. So maybe if you want to look at this.
So we're probably doing about 1,200 then.
During testing, the Monster put up some impressive numbers, but it also revealed a serious problem.
Well, we're not sure what it is. That's the issue. There's obviously some debris in here. It's got something in there that's not happy. We just don't know how serious it is, and if we want to go 1,500 miles away and not know.
With little time left before departure for Texas, the decision was made to install the bullet motor and decide later if they felt like rolling the dice with the unproven monster lurking in the trailer.